Welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another episode, another insight. I was watching football this weekend and I was really enjoying the game. But then we had a little bit of an incident that happened that kind of put a sour spin on the whole game, even though we won the match at the end of the day. One of the players on the team that I'm supporting got a red card. And on first view, on second view, it doesn't matter how many views they did, we all just felt it wasn't a red card. But the referee was adamant that it was a red card. His technical team was adamant that it was a red card. And it just left a sour taste in terms of the whole context of the game itself. And isn't life also just like that? Sometimes something happens that just leaves a sour taste in your mouth. An incident happens where everyone has different views and different perspectives with regards to this incident. But just at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it still leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I want to be focusing on this particular topic today because I think it's very important that we grab context and understanding about the circumstances that we're going through. And I want to share with you from a point of view from a pastor from Singapore that came to visit our church this weekend. He shared such a powerful and amazing word that really touched my heart. And, I really felt like, I know we all always feel like this, but that really felt like that was just meant for me. It was extremely powerful and I want to share with you from that perspective as well. So the goal of this particular insight is to give you this kind of value that will help you, especially when you're going through difficult challenges, to make sense of everything that's going around you in context of what God is doing in relation to that particular circumstance. Okay, so it's well versed in Romans. God says in Romans 8 verse 28, God says that, all things work together for the good of those who love Him. But sometimes it can also feel like, God, is things really working out for me? Are you really in this? Because sometimes I don't feel that your presence is here, Lord. This feels so unfair what I'm going through right now. And are you hearing my praise? Because it doesn't feel like, the situation is actually changing for me. My monetary situation is getting worse. My family dynamic is getting worse. My work situation is getting worse. Lord, are you hearing me? Are you seeing what I'm going through? And this pastor that was sharing with us this weekend, Dr. Vun, was speaking from Jeremiah 18 verse 2 to 6, where God sent Jeremiah the prophet over to the potter's place. And God said to him, look at what the potter is doing. And sometimes the clay is not working or shaping up the way the potter wants it, but he doesn't get freaked out. He doesn't get paranoid. He just refocuses himself and he starts shaping and molding that clay the way he envisioned the outcome of that clay is supposed to be. And that's exactly what I'm doing in your life. That is what God said to the prophet. That is exactly what I'm doing for you. That is exactly what I'm doing for Israel. But you see, that word wasn't just meant for Jeremiah. It wasn't just meant for Israel back then. God's word is alive and breathing. And that word is meant for us right now in our day-to-day circumstances as well. We need to trust and believe that God is shaping circumstances, all things. He's working all things together for our good. Sometimes we can harden our hearts and we say, well, Lord, it doesn't seem like you're going to be coming through, so I'm going to figure out a way to do this myself. Yeah, it happens, right? It happened to me so many times in my life, in my work, where I just figured, okay, God is really not doing anything about this, so I need to sort this out myself. And I can tell you, from experience, when you try to sort this out on yourself and figure this out on yourself, you really run into a brick wall that just creates an infinite amount of problems or exponential amount of problems compounding your situation. God knows what He's doing. He knows how fast that spindle needs to spin. He knows how to shape that clay. That is your life. And you are in His hands. What a beautiful thought that is, to be in the hands of God, to be molded and shaped into this beautiful, beautiful end product that God has envisioned in terms of your life, in terms of what He wants to achieve in your life. I know it hurts sometimes when things aren't working as fast and as incredibly well as you wanted it to work out for your life. I know that frustration. I had to battle for 3 years where nothing was going right in my life. Everything had fallen apart and I was so broken and devastated inside, and I felt so far away from God. But in that moments when I felt so far away from God, I learned to open myself up and to start depending on God and relying on Him continuously. I didn't know and understand about this whole concept of the potter. Yeah, I've heard the songs about the potter's hand and I've sung those hymns in church, but I never had this vision, this clarity, this understanding of the spotter sitting at the table, patiently spinning that spindle, shaping my life, bringing me up to the point where he sees my value, where the world can start experiencing my value that I have to contribute. And God is doing that right now with your life as well. I want to encourage you, it doesn't matter how hard it is, how hurtful it is at times, how much you feel like you just want to quit or give up. Open up your heart, open up your understanding, trust the Lord, trust the process. Trust the process that you're going through right now. God has got a beautiful picture in mind for you. He's got a beautiful finish in mind for you. But you just need to stay strong and stay the course. So I hope that you're not losing yourself in the midst of the trials and the tribulations that you're going through right now. Like I said, I've gone through that valley experience as well. I know it really does hurt a lot. And it does feel like it's a never-ending road. But that road ends. The spotter that we have is such an amazing creator. He shapes and molds circumstances in our life so beautifully together. Doors we didn't even know existed suddenly find themselves open. People we never even knew about before suddenly welcoming us into their midst, into their sphere. That is what this amazing potter does in our lives. But we need to trust in him. We need to have the faith that when everything is going wrong in our lives, we need to have that faith and that confidence and that trust and that reliance on him. Say, I know you are working all things together for my good. I don't know who this video was meant for today, but I just felt it strong in my heart that I needed to share this with you today. And I needed to encourage you today to tell you that, you know what, the storm that you're going through right now, it's not going to last forever. I've gone through the storm where those 3 years felt infinite, but it doesn't last forever. I hope you took value from this particular insight. I was really touched yesterday by that particular sermon, and I really wanted to bring that across to you as well, that we have this incredible potter that is just shaping all things together for our good. And I hope and I pray that this touched you as well as I was touched yesterday by that particular sermon. It was so incredible to listen to and to sit through. Okay. Thank you for joining me for this particular insight. If you haven't, or if you find value from this, let me say it that way. If you find value from what I've just shared here, then please share it with the next person. What I try to do on this channel is to provide value through insights that will help you tap into your true purpose so that you can actually start living your life God's way. Because this potter, he intended such an amazing life for us. But we keep fighting him in terms of this life that we are living. And the minute you stop resisting and start opening yourself up to the possibilities that he has in mind for you, you will see that his plan really is to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. So I hope that you're taking the encouragement from this particular insight. If you haven't yet, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. It is my goal to add value from a grounded perspective through insights like this into your life. And do give the channel a like. I really appreciate your support as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next insight. I look forward to dropping more value on you. For now, this is Vinnie Mac saying, change your thinking, change your world.